colleague of mine who's been working with me on this, I have to tell you, for 21 years, who joined Promethean. And when Promethean made him redundant by going to resellers, he crossed the road and has been with me ever since, again. Peter, is the school contact. Peter goes to schools. And I just want him just to give you a little bit of his experiences. Peter.
Good afternoon. I'm afraid I'm afflicted with man flu, which many of you all know how severe that is. So if I cough at you, I'm sorry. Okay, so Tony's right. I've been around this for about 21 years, and I'm very lucky. I get to spend most of my time in schools, local authorities, multi-academy trusts. I spend all my time playing, really, and going out and showing this stuff. And 2 decades ago, when I started with Tony, and several of my colleagues are in the room today as well, we first went out and showed interactive whiteboards in the very early days, and we thought we were on something really quite special, I think, in terms of being able to show what were quite small things at the time, but had this real wow and ooh and ah kind of factor, as we used to call it, when we're out in the schools. But I think the reality is it was just nothing compared to what we're starting to see with this now, in terms of the effect and the reaction that we're already getting out there in the schools with LbQ. So it's just a really great start of a journey, this. So I think sort of 2000 or so, when I joined Tony, as he reminded me the other day, we probably sold about 200 interactive whiteboards in a year. And we thought that was something big, didn't we? Something special. 10 years later, we're selling about 200,000 a year. It was quite an incredible growth, really. But as I said, it's nothing in comparison to this reaction we're starting to see. But that doesn't mean we haven't got a big job here, really. I've got quite a relatively small team in terms of people that would go out and about in the schools. There's 4 or 5 of us, and Tony, when we can stop him from doing so, going out into the schools as well and showing this to people. So we needed a bigger family, really. So we've gone out, and very, very quickly, and we're very grateful for this, we've got some resellers on board with us now. So there's about 2 or 3 of you here today, and thanks for travelling in for that. Now, that's giving us probably in the region of about 50 people out there that are going to be able to go out and show this, and I know already they're also seeing a very similar reaction to what we've been seeing. So thank you for joining us to those guys. Another thing, and this one's very close to home, following on from Ribblesdale speaking, which they didn't mention, but I am a governor there as well, so I'm very proud of that. But I sit on their resource committee as well, so we know how tough budgets are out there. It's well documented, etc. But one of the big things that came from the Feedback 50 project that we ran for 12 months was there just isn't enough equipment out there. Either they've not got enough budget to be able to buy the equipment in the first place, or they simply just don't have enough one-to-one equipment. So we got together, and I've been working with a couple of partners who are in the room today in terms of being able to put a package together. You'll be able to see it out there. But we now have a learning by questions hardware package, which we can offer out to the schools at a good price. We're finding very little objection to that. Give you an idea, we're talking about £1,100 a year. Cost of a laptop, if you look at it like that. And what that means is we can get these devices into the hands of the learners where it matters, from start of lesson to end of lesson. So it's really about removing that barrier in terms of us being able to get the LbQ message out there. The last thing we wanted was really the worst possible case scenario. You love the pedagogy, you love the content that we've got, but no device. So really it's been there and put there to remove that. Also, you'll have had a lot of talk today, Estelle in particular, etc., mentioning that we're trying to drive down some workload here. We've seen an average across the research projects that we've done about an hour a lesson in terms of what we've been able to save in terms of electronic marking. And of course, we'll further remove in terms of preparation as well, because the content's already made. But of course, the teacher still needs to plan accordingly for that. But what we wanted to do was try and help a little bit further, and so to sort of try and increase and drive up the use again, we've been able to produce books. So the first 4 you're going to be able to see out in the adjoining room, and we've got years 5, 6, 7 and 8 complete for maths in terms of our question sets being produced in book format. And what it means is over the next 3 months, we'll be able to increase that to years 3 to 9. We're going to bring in primary science, English for Key Stage 2 and 3, and Key Stage 3 for chemistry, physics and biology. So it means by January, we'll have 15 titles out there to try and assist for the schools. On top of that, we're probably, or have authored, I should say, in the region of about 35,000 questions, all with feedback. I can see Jan smiling at the back because she made her target of doing so. It was a bit of a mountain, wasn't it, Jan? Etc. And we've got about 20 teachers, illustrators, editors all working on this at the moment. They produce, to give you an idea, about 3,000 questions a month. Okay, that's about how we can scale this up. We've targeted ourselves at 100,000 within 18 months. And Jan's face is a picture when I say that. Sorry, Jan. But 100,000 questions, triple the output we're already on at the moment. So what does that mean? Well, it means more subjects for more year groups, hopefully driving down workload on the teachers, more time saving, better learning improvements, and so on, but covering more and more of the curriculum as we go. We're also going to start looking at other subject areas. So we're looking at history, we're going to look at modern foreign languages, geography, and also I believe we're going to start looking at what we can do to assist with Key Stage 1 as well. So broader and broader is how we will go. Okay, another development that's going to come through very quickly for us, and I know Tony in particular is very, very excited about this one, is not just these sort of high quality images that we've got out there across the authoring team now, but adding sound files to this as well. So it's going to give us much bigger scope in terms of what we can do there. Okay, so it's going to be quite exciting for us. So thank you for coming today. Thank you for starting on the journey with us. It's hopefully been an interesting day. The interest, hopefully you've seen it across the board today, from the kids and upwards and so on. It's fabulous. Thanks for sharing in that today. I hope you're as excited as we are about it as well. All right. Thanks a lot.